And listen, y'all, last month when I started doing these little City of Washington City Council recaps, I said I was going to do a crown award for that individual or entity that was most fighting for democracy and serving democracy, holding individuals, elected officials accountable, ensuring there's transparency to our government. And the winner of the April 2026 Crown Sassy Attorney Crown Award, because Sloppy Joe said I'm the queen of TikTok. So I'm gonna give out my crown awards. That goes to our new city manager. I think, from him jumping from the pews of the observers into the table, I think he did a great job. And I wish him nothing but the best in his future with the city of Washington. We are all better served. The more successful he can be in that role, the better life will be for our residents, our visitors, and our businesses here in Washington. So I wish him nothing but the best. And, I want to put a clip though as to why I think he deserves this. And that is his beautiful, concise explanation of property taxes, reducing the rate of property taxes, and what that means for the budget season.
But the simple response is this. Your tax rate in this budget is 48.5 cents. Every 1 penny of that 48.5 represents $150,000 of revenue for the city of Washington. And that is based on your ad valorem tax, which means according to value. All right, so now you have to break this down and think very, very simple terms. If you use a price tag of a median price tag of a home of 200,000, keep it simple. If you reduce it from 48.5 to 47.5 by 1 penny, all right, the city's not going to get $150,000 in revenue. It's just that simple. And when you reduce it from 48.5 to 47.5, basically the taxpayer is saving $20 a year. Every 1 penny on a $200,000 value home saves $20 a year divided by 12 months. You can do the math, right? So now if you go the revenue neutral number that I've heard, and I've heard the conversations, I've seen it. So if you go from 48.5 to 37.5, that is an 11-cent tax reduction. Am I right? Okay, and so each 1 penny is 150, so that means that's $1.5 million. And so if you want to go from 48.5 to 37.75, you got to decide where to come up with $1.5 million. There's only three components of your budget. There's personnel, there's operations, and there's capital. All right? And so then you have to consider, well, what are we trying to deliver? We're here to provide services. And you can't provide those services at an adequate, efficient level if you shortchange man, money, machines, and materials. That's it in a nutshell. If the board recommendations of how you make these cuts to get to some number, it can't be arbitrary. It needs to be a high-level look. You're talking about cutting departments, all right, not operational expenses, nickel and diming. We need to stop. Governments across the nation, all right, need to stop budgeting for costs, and they need to start budgeting for outcomes. What are we trying to achieve? That is the question we have to ask, not necessarily how much is it going to cost us this year to do the same thing we did last year and get the same results. What are we trying to achieve? That's why you need to have these discussions regarding whatever it may be, different departments, different things that we do. If the demand is there, the market will provide it, and we don't have to step in and subsidize it. That's the broader context.